Hi, welcome to Dusseldorf, or as I like to call it, the Manchester of Germany. What's that? Today I am going to be travelling from here in Dusseldorf back to Dover in the UK, direct with Flixbus, so no changing. Oh yeah. You should definitely come to Dusseldorf, it's a great city, but if you do, I would avoid this bus station if you can, as it's full of tramps. Everybody knows that long distance coach journeys are horrible, so I'll be drinking heavily on this one, and I've got today 12 bottles of Krombacher and this enormous tin of Fax lager that I've never seen before and I thought looked interesting. I'm reliably informed that all the cool people in Germany drink Fax, so that should suit me. And yeah, it's this enormous tin. I've put it next to the bottle of Krombacher to show how big it is. Anyway, here's the Flixbus. It turns up. Incredibly, this trip only cost me 36 quid all the way, because I booked in advance and we're off. Unfortunately for me, I did have someone sat right next to me, so I hope they don't grass me up. And I realise that in my first few shots of Dusseldorf I maybe did it a bit dirty, but here it is looking beautiful. It is a beautiful place, that's Dusseldorf and the Rhine, and North Rhine-Westphalia is really a beautiful place. I would definitely come here. I realise there's not a lot to see when you're travelling by coach, and as you can see the time is 7:05 and I've got started already, and I hope the bloke next to me is going to be cool. I forgot to mention it's pretty much a direct route from Dusseldorf to Brussels. The route goes Dusseldorf, Brussels, Lille and Calais, and as you can see I've started on my second one, getting a good head of steam on. Yeah, it's going well, and even though it's room temperature it's tasting pretty good, but there's not a lot to see at the moment. And here I am in the toilets. I thought I'd do a quick toilet review. Basically, if you've never been in a coach toilet, you want to avoid them because they're horrible. It's like a plastic coffin. And it stinks, and a lot of the time there's not even any water in them, so they're really horrible. I'm not a particularly big person, but it's really small in there, and so you want to avoid using the toilet. Do you want to have a dump in there? No, you do not. That's the one thing you definitely want to avoid. As you can see, we're doing good time, and these are going down nicely. Not a lot to see. Coach travel's boring, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm drinking on here, because it's excruciating otherwise. But I've got to admit, these are going down a bit too quick. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's good fun, and I'm getting into one. Don't know why I'm so obsessed with looking at my watch when I'm filming, but yeah, I guess I was just keeping a track of the time. Nothing to see, pretty boring really. The geezer next to me's cool, he's not said anything, and I'm getting away with it. I think there he is, and I think partially because I let him use the plug that was right next to on my side of the seat, and he didn't have one, so I think he was cool because of that, and no one's kicking up a stink. Yeah, I'm 4 in, and I've got my 5th on me at the moment, and we reach the outskirts of Brussels, and yeah, quicker than I thought, if I'm honest. So we've got to Brussels. Here we are pulling into Brussels. I'm hoping at this point that the geezer next to me is going to clear off and I'm getting a seat to myself, as that'll make things a bit easier. Yeah. Load of people get on and come off. And there's one interesting thing about Brussels happened one time, that as we pulled up there and they opened the side of the bus, a load of tramps come running out and tried to steal all the luggage, and the Flixbus driver actually leapt off the bus and started fighting with the tramps, trying to save everyone's luggage. So my next beer is going to be for all them hard-working Flixbus drivers, because on the whole, they're a good bunch, and they do work hard. I've got no doubt about that. So cheers, Flixbus drivers. Good health. There's just one thing I would say is that sometimes, if you want to get off at Dover like I always do, you end up having to have a bit of an argument with them or beg them a few times. But, oh well. As you can see, now we're leaving Brussels. Unfortunately for me, the bloke in the seat next to me got off, but I got someone else on. I gotta say, this geezer gave me a few dirty looks. He didn't look too impressed with me and my beer bottle collection, but he didn't tell tales on me or grass me up, so that's fair enough. So he's alright. Incidentally, I don't actually know if you are or aren't allowed to drink on the Flixbus, because one time I was coming back from Germany to the UK, and the British Flixbus driver threatened to chuck anyone off he caught drinking, and yet I was going the other way, and the Netherlands Flixbus driver offered to sell us beer. So your guess is as good as mine. I remain ignorant on purpose, that way I can pretend I don't know what the rules are. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way sometimes. Anyway, check the time again, doing well, and we pull into Lille. Never been here, but I'm actually thinking of when I return to Europe is just crossing the channel myself and then picking the Flixbus up from Lille, as you can get off the Flixbus at Dover, but you can't get on it, so you have to go to London first to cross into Europe, which is a bit of a pain because I live in Kent, you know what I mean? But anyway, here we are in Lille, and a few more people get on and off, but nothing changes for me. Gotta say, Lille looks quite a smart place. I wouldn't mind having a look at this place one day. So a couple of times I've been here in Lille, and some people have got on the bus what you think are passengers, and then they've suddenly announced that they're actually French policemen, and they ask to look at your ID and look in your bag and ask you a lot of questions about where you've been. I mean, it didn't bother me, I've got nothing to hide, but, you know, it's a bit weird, innit? You know? Anyway, it's now just a straight journey down to Calais from here, and obviously, because we'll be in Calais, we'll be getting the boat across. I've got to say, drinking on the bus has been a really good idea of mine. The trip's flown by, and it's made it seem really fun. And here comes the driver to collect everyone's passports. It's something they do, they scan them through, and then it makes the whole thing a bit quicker. Here's the French countryside. Looks almost exactly like England at this point. And I remember it's about now that I start to feel really drunk. I'm coming to the end of my Krombackers now. So yeah, sorry for the peculiar perspective that I'm filming at here, but I really am quite drunk at this point. And yeah, that's how the collection's getting on. Check my trusty Ray Mears yet again to see what the time is, see how I'm getting on. It really has flown by, but like I say, at this point I am completely drunk, and I'm seeing gremlins dancing around me and all kinds. That's how drunk I am. I think I'm trying to say the word 11 at this point to try to let you all know that I'm on beer number 11, but I don't know. I'm absolutely off the planet at this point. And this is where my plan sort of falls down a bit, as I realise I've got to get through French and British customs while being really drunk, you know, and I suddenly think, oh, what have I done? But yeah, I stopped filming here because, I'll be honest, the French are quite cool, but the British customs ask you a load of questions and stuff. Anyway, cut a long story short, it didn't matter. I get away with it, I just act dead cool, don't I? And I'm back on the bus, and I'm ready to have a crack at this enormous can of Fax. But before I do, I eat this famous German delicacy known as a frikadellen. It is cold, but I'm ravenous at this point, so I don't care. And I remember it goes down the wrong way and I start coughing my guts up, so the guy next to me is probably even less impressed with me. You know, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? Anyway, I'm very interested to try this enormous tin of Fax. I've never seen it before, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it. And here's the moment of truth. Fax lager. I am drunk, of course, but the Fax don't care about my feelings. I've got to get through this. And it goes everywhere, but oh well, here we go. Yeah, it's not actually that nice. It's totally warm. It's actually quite gross. Yeah, I wouldn't make a habit of drinking this. Yeah, I've dropped a bollock here, if I'm honest. At this point, I'm feeling sick as a parrot, and this can just never ends. It's like it's a bottomless can, and I really think that the German supermarket person that told me that all the cool people drink this was taking the piss out of me, if I'm honest, because it's gross, and Germans make good lager. You know what I mean? There's loads better lager than this in Germany. So, yeah, I wouldn't buy this again.
Head over to Cafe Lafayette.
Yeah, I still haven't got through it. It never ends. I'm thinking of chucking it in the English Channel in a minute. Anyway, this is... Turns out it was an Irish ferry. And I quite like these as they're very chilled out. There's loads of places to sit. And it's kind of like a great big floating pub. As you can see, it's like quite chilled out. And I go out to get some air because it's nice. And that wasn't actually a joke. I was seriously thinking about throwing the can in the sea, but I decided not to in case I got done. And that's it. We get to Dover. I did finish the Fax in the end. But yeah, here we are in Dover, the port of Dover where dreams come true. And the driver lets me off and I head to Spoons to finish the day off with a couple of bottles of Asahi to get rid of that taste of Fax lager. And this has been a successful trip, and here I am in Dover Wetherspoons, and no idea why I look so miserable when I'm drunk. I don't get what's going on. Anyway, bye.